So I'm here with.
My name's James Watts.
Nice to meet you, James. So how long have you been in the trading industry?
I've been in the industry now for 16 years on the brokerage side. So I started off in Geneva, then I moved to London for about 10 years, and I moved to Dubai in 2019. I represent Taurex. So here we're regulated by the FCA, or a company within the group is regulated by the FCA, DFSA, and we're in the process of getting our ESCA license as well.
Okay, so why should one choose your broker?
I think it's stability. Having been in the industry for so long, I've seen a bunch of brokers come and go, unfortunately. It's quite damaging for the industry as a whole. As we can see here, there's a bunch of guys exhibiting. My concern is who's going to be here next year. And I think that's a big concern for the industry as a whole. Stability and a strong regulatory framework, fair trading condition and fund security has to be the top priority.
Okay, so what are the requirements for one to become an IB for your company?
Well, we're pretty flexible. In terms of IBs, we're always interested in learning a bit more about your business, figuring out how we can work together. We're very competitive in terms of spread, so commercials, as well as a commercial offering. So, for partners who want to set us good flow, we can be pretty aggressive on our commercials there.
Okay. So what are some benefits one is going to gain if they become an IB with your company?
So I think for any IB, the most important thing, again, is stability. Ultimately, it's you who's facing your client. So if the broker is unable to pay out to either you or the client, it's you who needs to face the client, and it's your reputation that's ultimately going to be impacted. So whilst we've seen a race to the bottom in terms of commercials, everyone's offering really tight spreads and really aggressive rebates, it's not sustainable, right? So what is sustainable? Because that's going to be the difference between you having to find a new broker in 2 years because your brokerage is no longer there, and your client's money is no longer there, and building a genuine business with a brokerage that has sustainability, a broker that's able to stand the test of time and continue to serve you for many years.
So what's your target market?
Geographically, we're global. I see Southeast Asia as a huge region, massive potential in that area, as well as the GCC region. And obviously, we're physically here. We also have a physical presence in Southeast Asia. The emerging markets are particularly interesting, but I think strategically, you've got to be pretty smart in terms of where to target, and that's what we're drilling down on.
Okay. So what advice would you give to someone who is looking out for a new broker?
You need to manage your counterparty risk. Trading risk is something that we take every day, and you can accept it. Some trades you win, some trades you lose. When counterparty risk is, how stable your counterparty is. What happens if your counterparty defaults on payments? How protected are you? And that's the most important aspect. That's how you live to have a long and successful career in the industry. If you're constantly chasing the best commercials, moving from one bad broker to the next because they're offering you the best rebates in the world or the best commercials in the world, it's a short stop to ending your business. You've got to think commercially. If your business doesn't make sense for the brokerage, which quite often, if you think about the commercials that they're offering you, it won't. What does that mean for you long term?
What advice would you give to someone who is trying to get into the Forex industry?
It depends in what capacity. If you're looking to trade, it's kind of the age-old sentiments. Warren Buffett, for example, ultimately what you're looking to do is to buy value. The trend is your friend. Buy low, sell high. There's various different things, but the most important thing is counterparty risk. There's so many brokers out there with great marketing strategies that will entice you with fantastic offers. They're not sustainable. If your money's no longer there, then it's money down the pan. Take a bit of time, look for the opportunities in the market, look for the good guys in the market, and you don't have to trade every day either. A big part of trading is sitting on your hands, so no trading activity is still part of your strategy.